So it's another scorcher today. I don't see any relief in sight. It's supposed to be in the 90s all week. So doing even a little bit of activities and you're just pouring sweat. As you know, I think in yesterday's video I told you that I had some solar panel troubles. My wires get corroded. And never mind, I don't want to go through that again, but I wanted to go down and test and make sure all of them were working because it got so hot yesterday that I just gave up. I didn't want to test them all. So I went down there again today and I tested each one to make sure they were each working, which is not a lot of activity. And I don't know, 15 minutes later and I was just pouring sweat. So I kind of just sat down and relaxed, and that's about the best you can do, I think. I know a lot of people have air conditioning, and of course we don't have air conditioning. So you just sit in front of the fan and cool off, or sit out here on the porch. I tell you, this is the perfect temperature to get some watermelon though. Carolyn's got some growing, so maybe we'll get some. So I made a video the other day and I was talking about chickens and being self-sustaining. I mean, we're getting to a point, I think, in our economy where there might be some concern about food in the future. Obviously the inflation is on the rise, and every month you hear that it's record inflation again. Well, at some point, you know, you're just going to be record inflation out. I don't know, I heard some outlandish number that people are going to spending, I don't know, what was it, $800 a month more on inflation on average throughout the country. That's just incredible. I mean, you think about it, the gas and all that. I know gas has really got me just not wanting to do anything. I've been running that propane generator for a while. Of course, now it's sunny and getting plenty of charge from the solar panels. I don't have to hardly run the generator for the battery charging at all. But the generator to run the well, it uses, you know, maybe a gallon every 2 weeks. So we're talking $4.79. But I just hate using gas. I mean, when I was running the well and gas prices were $1.79 or even $2.50, I was okay with that. But man, 2 weeks to get some water out of the ground, you just think, man, it's crazy high. So we've been staying here. We didn't go anywhere this week except to Dollar General, which is just a few miles away. For our weekly trip. We go each week just to pick up, well, pretty much just pick up ice cream. That was kind of our treat for the week, is ice cream. So we've been really trying to figure out, are we ready? If we just can't leave this property, except for the ice cream, of course, can we handle it? Going to the grocery store. Of course, we're going to go to the grocery store next week and we're going to see how bad the prices are. Every time we go, we keep expecting to see it terrible, but it's not. It's not too bad. Of course, things go up. The chicken, last time we went to get groceries, the chicken was just outrageous. I don't remember what it was. For some reason, it sticks in my head. It was like $5 a pound for the day old stuff. You know, the stuff they put over there in the sale items. So it was extremely high. The bag of chicken, the 10-pound bag of chicken, it went up 20 cents in the 1 month. We go every month. We're trying to figure out, are we good? Can we handle it? Well, of course, we've got all that chicken in there. Well, canned food. It's chicken and pork and whatever we have. And I think we have just almost a year of food with that. That would give us time to get things rolling so we could be completely self-sustaining. The biggest concern is being able to feed the chickens, obviously, because the chickens are feeding us. We've got it where we can reproduce them now. We just incubated 15 chickens. And we're going to butcher those when they're ready. And then I think we're going to do a second batch this year. That gives us food. Then we just bought the Brahmas. Those are huge meat birds. The males can get up to 12 pounds. That gives us even more meat with less resources. They only eat a little bit more than normal chickens. So it's not like we got to feed them more. And then we get the eggs. And the eggs, right now, we eat as many as they produce. We got 12 hens, and that's what's given us enough to eat. Now we got the Brahmas. Those Brahmas will produce through the winter. So we got the Rhode Island Reds and the Brahmas now are going to give us food through the winter. Then we got the Buff Orpingtons. I think this is going to be the last time we get Buff Orpingtons. I don't think we're ever going to do that again. Buff Orpingtons are good, and they produce pretty well during the summer months, but the problem is in my opinion, everybody says Buff Orpingtons are very friendly, but they're not. They're pretty mean to the rest of the chickens. And they're not exactly friendly to me either. The Reds will come right up to me. They won't let me pet them, but they will come up to me. The Brahmas are supposed to be really friendly, and so far that's all I see from them. Is they walk right up to you. You can pet them, hold them, they don't care. The problem with the Buff Orpingtons is they go broody. And they go broody frequently during the summer, which is great if you're wanting to incubate your eggs with the chicken, but we have an incubator now, and we know we can run it even on cloudy days with solar panels and our batteries. When they go broody, not only if you were to incubate them, you'd lose the 3 weeks of the incubation time that, you know, they're sitting on the eggs, but you also get 3 weeks afterwards that they don't lay any eggs, so that's 6 weeks. Well, if they don't sit on any eggs, then you still lose the 3 weeks. We had one go broody for, I don't know, 3 days or so. 3 weeks, no eggs. The Americanas, they produce smaller eggs. They're colorful eggs and they're smaller. They're not friendly. I don't think they're just mean, like they go out on the attack. They just don't want to be bothered. Just leave me alone. So we'll probably stick with the Americanas. I like the colored eggs. And of course you could sell those for a little bit more. Carolyn and I was talking about the other day, but you know, in this economy, nobody's going to care. They're going to want eggs for whatever cheapest price they're going to get. So they're not going to want to buy colored eggs. They're going to want cheap eggs. So I think that's what we're going to do. Is going to do New Hampshires, Brahmas, and Americanas. That gives us eggs all year round. Rhode Island Reds actually produce some during the summer months also. Those are just kind of good all-around chicken. Friendly, produce eggs all year round, and they don't go broody too much. With the Brahmas, going to get some winter eggs. They're big. Going to get a lot of meat out of them as we incubate their eggs. And then the Americanas will give us plenty of eggs in the summertime. That's about the only thing they're good for. That way we have a variety of everything. But Carolyn keeps seeing on Facebook groups, the off-grid and homestead groups, that people are not able to find chicken food. We've not had that problem. Every time we go, there's pallets of it. Now we've got this feed mill. It's a long ways away, and with gas prices, it would just be incredibly expensive to go and get. But it is on the way to the grocery store. When we run out or start to run out of food, we'll go up there and see what they got. It's pretty cheap. You get 100 pounds for, I don't know, $20 or something, which is, we get 40 pounds now for about $14. So the price is okay. It'd be worth the little extra trip. But if Facebook groups are saying that they're running out of food, we may not have an option. At some point, we're going to have to figure out how to feed the chickens without going and buying it. So we've been studying this pretty hard, what we can do. Now, everybody has said, grow garden, grow garden, grow garden. And that's fine, except we have limited space. I mean, we got our garden space down there. We could grow, you know, here and there and all this stuff, but we got a lot of woods. And I keep the woods in case we need firewood. This also would be good for a little bit of hunting if I needed to. You know, if something got really bad and deer, I could sit out there and get a deer. And I don't want to get into all that. But how do we feed the chickens? We pretty much have everything we need so they can eat naturally right here on the property. We were kind of looking at this, and one of the things Carolyn does is, if you can figure out what that is sunflower seeds. What she has done, she's taken a 40-pound bag of sunflower seeds, and she does this all the time. She just puts it in a bottle and lets it grow for 3 days. She drains out the water. I mean, I don't know all the specifics. You could probably look it up. But I'm not here to teach you how to do it. But that's sunflower seeds. You grow them in a bottle. She can take 40 pounds of sunflower seeds and turn that into 200 pounds because it's growing. You can see that it's growing in there. It started out, when she started it out, right there where my finger is, that's where it came up to. And it's spread out that far. So that has like 26% protein. There's where we're deficient, is in the protein aspect of feeding our chickens without going to the grocery store. We got the calcium. Of course, you can get the calcium. I don't think that's ever going to be a problem. You can go to the store and get calcium. But if we had to, we could give them the egg shells. Carolyn smashes them up every day. You can see right here in the dehydrator that she's got all her eggs that we eat. She lets those dehydrate for a few days, and then she crushes them up, gives that to the chickens. So we got the calcium. And then we have one aspect of the protein, 26% protein. It might be 23, 26, don't quote me, but it's in the 20s. Well, that's plenty of protein. Now, you don't have to feed this to them all the time. Now, a lot of people say, mealworms, mealworms, mealworms. Well, again, mealworms are 23%. And you just don't get a lot out of it. The amount that we've seen on YouTube and different things, it would be a snack form. They'd have that gone in just a few minutes. So I think mealworms would be more effort than the payoff. Then there's maggots. Now, maggots isn't a bad idea. Again, it'd be a little snack form. They would eat that up pretty quick. But if you had some rotting food, just set it out in a barrel or something, let the maggots grow, and then you could feed it to the chickens. Dead carcasses, you could feed, that gives them protein. But the thing I found most interesting is eggs. If you gave a chicken an egg, that's 93% protein in an egg. So if you could reset, you had enough eggs, you know, which we will once the Brahmas start producing, we'd have enough eggs. And you don't want to feed it to every meal. You don't want to stuff them full. What we would do is probably give them some protein every other day or so, and you only give them what they are willing to eat. What we have noticed for some reason is our chickens keep breaking 1 egg a day. We're thinking that the food they're getting, which is 16% protein, isn't providing them with enough protein right now, so they're breaking an egg. If they were breaking a bunch of eggs, I would say that they've just gotten in the habit of breaking eggs, but they don't do it all the time. They just do it every now and then. So what we would do is cook up a couple eggs, hard boil them, just grind them up, the whole thing, eggshells and all, and give it to the chickens in their food, or I'd probably just throw it on the ground, and when they got tired of eating it, that's enough. You can also probably tell if they need more protein, like if they're breaking an egg or something, or more calcium, they're breaking eggs. Just feed them extra. So I could go around here and start cutting all the weeds down. Carolyn's got the sunflower seeds. We're actually thinking about growing some sunflower seeds in the back part of the garden. We were going to grow corn, but sunflower seeds would make more sense because it's got protein. Corn's just sugar. So that is my plan if things get so bad that they don't have chicken food at the stores anymore. So if you can click that super thanks button down there at the bottom, I'd really appreciate it. I hope I can inspire you to plan ahead so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.